Hi, I'm Margaret Lewin and welcome to Margaret Lewin Quilting. Today we're going to be working on block number 10 of the Moda Stitch Pink 2020 quilt along. This is block Helen. I'm not 100% certain that I have it laid out right yet. I think I do, but something's telling me that this one's wrong. I knew there was something that was wrong. I kept looking at it going, there is something that is not right here. So I'm not sure I have it perfectly right still, but I'll just keep double checking it as I go to make sure. Not a hard block, but a block that I really think you need to take it apart to put it together. So I'm going to very carefully put it together in groups. I'm going to first sew all of my half square triangles. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. Once I've done my half square triangles, then I'm going to do my flying geese. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got another 8 of those. So once I get those components put together, then I'm going to take it and lay it out again on my board and stand back and take a look at it to make sure that I've got it right before I sew any farther. Once I do that, then what I'm going to do is put it together into 3 rows. So I'll first put all of this segment together, then add the ends. Same thing down here, put all of this together, add the ends. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to work on this center piece, get that totally done, put this together, then put this together, then put it together into another strip. So there's going to be multiple steps with this. I found when I did my pink one that it was really easier to break it all apart, put it together into small blocks, and then bring it back together again. So here is my pink block. That one is done, and I believe, do I have it correct? I don't think I do. Yeah, I've got something wrong here. See, these 2 are going one way, these 2, and then those 2. So let's see which one it is supposed to be. These 2 are in the wrong spot. So I'm going to go get this switched around and this one switched around. Then I'll be back. Alright guys, it has been a couple of hours because when I realized that this block was wrong, I went, started fixing it, and got it wrong again. And so then I said, it's time for a break. So do not be afraid to step away from your work for a little while, kind of cool it off, and then come back to it. That is what I did, and I think it's right. It looks right. But it's finally done. So now to avoid those issues, there's a couple of things that I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is, this seems to be where I'm having my problems, is in the crown part. So I've laid it out on my board, and I'm just going to rotate it and make sure that it looks like this and like the pattern. I think I've got it now. So I'm going to do exactly what I said. I am going to concentrate on getting these together first. That's my first priority. Originally I was going to do all the half square triangles and then concentrate on these being the flying geese. I'm not now. I have learned that this is something that I've got a mind block with. It's given me a little bit of a hard time. So I'm going to concentrate on these pieces first. Then I'll come back, show you how it is that I pressed them, and then we'll move on to the next. So stay tuned and I will show you how I make this block, and hopefully I'm only going to be making this one once. I'm going to square up my corner blocks. These are supposed to be 2 inches. They are more than 2. And the reason they are is because I increased the size of them because I wanted to square them down. Now, I only increased the size of these, I think, by about 1/8. and that was it. You don't have to necessarily increase the size a lot. No, I must have done a quarter because they're definitely bigger. So I did a 1/4 of an inch larger, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're comfortable squaring it down versus cutting it exact and not being able to square it down, then you go right ahead and do that. That's something that I always do because I feel that it is easier to square them up than it is to force something some way it doesn't really want to be. So I made it just a little bit bigger again, and then I could just square it up so that it was right. And that's what I've done. All right, I'm gonna now work on my flying geese. I have the first part of my flying geese done. I gotta go do my second. It is time to scrap our flying geese. I did definitely, and obviously I think, make my wings larger than what it asked in the pattern. And again, at the end, I'll go over how much bigger I made these pieces that I increased the size. This one has to square to 2 inches by 3.5. So remember our 2 inches and then 3.5. Half of 3.5 is 1 3/4. So our 1 3/4 mark is right there. So I'm going to put that 1 3/4 mark in the corner there, and I'm going to use that as my guide, the 45° and the 1 3/4 to trim my first piece. So I'll trim up one side across the top, clean that stuff up, and then I'm going to rotate it. And I'm going to now use my 3.5, and I'm going to use my 1 3/4 up here. So that will get me pretty darn square, I think. I love these 1/4 of an inch lines here on the Creative Grids. I think they help me a lot too. I think it makes a big difference for me. And I'm going to square across and across. So there we go. We have our 2 blocks, and now I'm going to go work on another piece. All right, it's time to start working on the other flying geese. You can see again, I'm using the exact same method that I always do. I use the diagonal line on the geese to be able to square it up. You can see I just brush away what's left, line it up again using the 2 1/4, or I'm sorry, using the 1/4 inch mark on the Creative Grids ruler so that I make sure I don't cut off the top of my geese. And there I go, I'm going to cut it off and across the top. I'll finish that up with the other, I think I've got 2 more to go. And this is for the inside star of the block Helen. So really what you're going to be doing is squaring up 8 flying geese, and then I think you've got a total of 4, no, actually you've got 8 half square triangles, and then you can just put it all together. As I said, I think my biggest problem with this block was I just confused myself as I was going through trying to get it all put together. So that's what we do, and it's now time to go back and start working on putting these blocks together. So I'll see you back here in just a minute. I've gotten this block together, and what you can see I've pressed it open. What you're going to want to do is attach one of the flying geese, and then you're going to want to double check and make sure that your centers, your points right here are matching, and it should go together pretty good. You shouldn't have a lot of problems with it, but just take it one step at a time. So that's your little inside star. Now I'm going to start working on adding the crowns. I'm going to add 2 of them here. So let me show you. I'll add to make the center long, and then I will add the squares at the ends of the 2 crowns, I call them crowns, on the top. So the first thing is going to be to take this and add the 2 crowns on to make the full 12.5-inch length, and then I'll add the other pieces on the top and the bottom. So I'll be back to show you that. This is the end of block 10, and I'm not going to say that I dislike this block, but I am going to say that I'm glad that it's done. I will urge you strongly to take this one step by step by step, because I found every time I tried to do it in big chunks instead of in the little chunks, I messed it up every single time. So again, I did typical things that I tend to do. I oversized the, where are they? The half square triangles. These 8 half square triangles, I oversized those and then trimmed them up. Same thing with the wings of the flying geese. I oversized those and then squared them up. Now remember, I'm not oversizing the inside of it, I oversized the wings. That's all that gets oversized. The inside portion of it is the normal. Other than that, it's just got a lot of pieces in it. It's not a difficult block, it's a block that has a lot of little pieces in it. Just take it one small bite at a time and you guys will have it. Trying to think if there's anything else that I'm supposed to tell you about these blocks, and I really don't think there are. I am going to insert a picture of my design wall because it's getting pretty full. I'm going to have to, after tomorrow's block, I guess I've got room for a few more down lower, but it's not going to be long, and I think I may need to tell Mr. Wilson I need a second design wall, and I don't think Mr. Wilson's going to give me a second design wall. So, well, there isn't room for it in the studio. So anyhow, I'm going to get a picture in here so that you can see what the design wall looks like now with these blocks on it. Tomorrow is day 11. So tomorrow we will be definitely working on our next block. I haven't even taken a look at it yet. Hopefully I'll get a look at it in a couple of minutes here, and then I'll get sewing on that one. So I will see you tomorrow for block number 11. And don't forget that tomorrow is Sunday Live with me on my YouTube channel right here from 2 until 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I go live on my channel. I'd love to have you there. If you have any questions about these blocks, pop on during 2 to 3 and I will do my best to answer them. The other thing that's going to happen tomorrow between the hours of 2 and 3, I have a special surprise for you guys. I've been putting away some little things to put for sale on my website, and I will be previewing those tomorrow. If you like these videos, please do give this a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. And one of the best things that you can do to help me grow my channel is to share my YouTube channel with your friends. So I will see you here again tomorrow, and have a fantastic evening. Bye.